Good morning, my friends. Time for breakfast soon, and I'm here and it's quite early. Dawn is just breaking. It's the morning twilight, and as you can see, there's a lovely bright effulgent moon shining down upon us. Wonderful light, all silvery, soft and caressing. And of course I'm in my woods. Hi guys, I've got the Trangia storm cooker set up. Got the water on the boil to make a nice cup of tea. First thing I do as soon as I sort of like get settled in, kettle on, make some tea. It's a beautifully clear morning. As you saw, there's a lovely full moon just behind me now. The sun is starting to rise, and wow, I'm feeling pretty good. As I say, it's a grand morning. It's lovely round here. I'm in my usual little spot that I like to come to. It's not too far into the woods, you know, it's about 10 minutes away from home, 10-15 minutes away from home. That's walking, by the way. I do not possess a car, which is sometimes is a bit of a disadvantage. And I shall be back in a minute. I was going to have an open fire today, but it rained terrifically hard last night, and to be quite honest, I just could not go through the effort of trying to split enough wood to get some dry. I've just come out here for breakfast and a little chat and maybe, you know, a poem or two and to say hello. Anyway, speak to you in a minute. Right, Trangia with kettle on the go, and in the little box an apple for fried apple, some cheese, duck eggs and smoked bacon, all to be cooked up in a rather tasty meal. Well, I'm all breakfasted out, folks. I've had eggs, bacon, halloumi cheese and fried apple. Very nice. Actually, the fried apple goes well with the smoked bacon, and halloumi cheese is wonderful fried anyway. It's the best way to eat it. And of course the smoked bacon and eggs. Duck eggs, I prefer duck eggs when I'm eating out in the woods. And yeah, very nice. I had the eggs banjoed. Those of you who live in the UK will know what an egg banjo is. I'm not so sure about those that live outside the UK, but basically eggs banjo is egg between two slices of bread. Basically it's egg sandwich, but we call it egg banjo here, for the sheer fact that if the yolk bursts, you end up playing the banjo. You're going like that down your tie. Anyway, I've been having some thoughts about bushcraft over the last week or so. You know, I've done the axe bit. Oh, to the person that sent me the comment about never cutting themselves on an axe, well, that's the best way of cursing yourself. As I said, if you've never cut yourself on an axe, you're the only person that I know of that have never cut themselves with a sharp tool in their lives. Everybody. I'm a baker. I've been baking for 41 years, and in that time I can honestly say I have burnt myself. So goes to show that, you know, don't matter how good you are, you will eventually get bitten. But anyway, little rant over, and as I say, I've been thinking about bushcraft, and when I've looked at some of the bushcraft videos, I often get a feeling people wishing they were somewhere else. Bushcraft is a universal thing, it's worldwide. We look at indigenous cultures and we think, oh, that's good. Now, the problem is, and I've noticed this particularly with the books that I have, or the majority of the books that I have except for one, they deal on a worldwide basis. I am not going to go out of my front door, walk down the road and find a barrel cactus or an agave or an elephant or Sam Bushman, or a chap swinging through the trees out of the Amazon jungle. I'm just not going to find those. What I do find around here is temperate forest, not quite boreal forest. It's a lot further north in the UK, it's right up in Scotland. I find broadleaf woodland where I am. We haven't got a lot of pine, you know. I envy the guys like Bushcraft Burton's Mike, who can build a shelter in a matter of an hour or so. It's well constructed. Here, it would to do the similar shelter would take at least 2 days to do it properly, to get it well waterproofed and looking right. As regards that, now as I say, you know, so most people wish there was somewhere else. Make the most of your environment. That's what bushcraft is. It's learning to live and practicing crafts in your environment. Because bushcraft, as I've often said, isn't just about making fires. At the moment, at home, I've got on my workbench some chopper mittens all ready to be sewn up. I've made the patterns. I've done a small video on those, but once I finish the chopper mittens, they'll be going up. It's carving a spoon. It's making stuff out of the environment that surrounds you. It's not just, as I say, it's not just lighting fires, and it's cooking al fresco. I love my morning breakfast when I come out on a Monday morning. It's a bit chilly now, but you know, like come next summer, I might spend a lot longer out here, go for longer walks out to a couple of nature reserves nearby. But it's great. Bushcraft is crafting things. It's craft of the bush. It's learning how to survive, but it's not a survival situation. Well, I say in the coming year I've got a number of courses I'm going on. Four food courses, wild food, and one on advanced firelighting techniques, which I'm quite looking forward to. You know, so we're coming to the end of the year. This is possibly my last video until January. I'm just too busy at work now. People can't get enough food. We shut for 2 days over Christmas, and we will be as busy on the day after Boxing Day as we are on the run up to Christmas. People just cannot seem to get enough food. Sadly, most of it all gets slung out. We overindulge and it gets slung out. And I've digressed over what I was talking about. Anyway, you know, today I used my Trangia Storm cooker as you saw, and it's and it was right good. You know, it does the job. I wanted to light a fire, but I can't. Everything's really quite wet, and I'm not going to go through the effort of chopping up dead standing wood just to get the dry heartwood when I've got a perfectly serviceable stove. Okay, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve by kebabbing the bacon, the apple and the cheese, but c'est la vie. Anyway, I'm enjoying this tea, and I'm enjoying chatting to you lot out there. I know it's a one-way conversation, which is a bit unfortunate. Christmas is upon us. Now, we all follow different spiritual paths, or we may not. You know, we could be atheist, agnostic, whatever. It still doesn't detract from the specialness of the time of year, particularly for us in the northern hemisphere, where our days are short, and this was a time of fire festivals, of saying goodbye to the ever weakening sun and then bidding it welcome again at the solstice. So to all of you out there, whether you live in Canada, America, Scandinavia, Europe, the UK, and I'm going to do some shout outs here. I apologise if I haven't mentioned you, but there are so many people to think. But there's Sarah, there's Mike, there's Sep, there's Survival Mike, Freddie in Scandinavia. There's Adam, street artist. Thank you for the card, very much appreciated. Sandy. Just a Bushcraft. Sorry mate, I keep forgetting your name. All you people and everyone out there, I will wish you a very Merry Christmas. May you never know the meaning of want. May your bellies never be empty out of misfortune. And may you achieve your goals at a steady pace. So we all want something for Christmas. We all have a Christmas wish list. I have 2 things on my wish list. One is possible, one sadly is impossible. Now I wouldn't mind a really good bush knife, you know, bushcrafting knife. I quite like the Ray Mears one, partly because it's got Ray on it, and partly because I actually quite like this knife. I did poo-poo it at first, but it's actually a good little knife. And talking about that, the past year has been good. I've actually met Ray Mears at least 3 times this year, which I think is great. You know, we sat down, we've had a chat. You know, a couple of times he come in on the camps I was doing. You know, it's on the courses, and one time we had a little one-to-one chat, which I thought was great, because we was comparing similar experiences, and it was great to talk to the guy. He's modest, he's quiet, and he doesn't suffer fools gladly. I say it's been a really good year. I can't believe how fast it's gone by. It's just been really good. Anyway, a film you ought to try and seek out. I cannot tell you what it is in Inuit, but it's called The Fast Runner, and it's a folk tale from the Inuit, and it's very, very good. You'll possibly find it on the National Film Board of Canada site. I've downloaded it, and it's a wonderful film. It's got subtitles, obviously, and it's all Inuit cast. You know, everybody is part of that culture. There's some good bushcrafty bits in it, of course. The synopsis is this shaman comes in some years before, curses a family, and it's like the aftermath of that. And the fast runner is one of the guys in the folk tale. Really, really good story. If you're not really into world cinema, or you can't speak Yuppiat, I shouldn't really bother watching it, but it's a great film. I would recommend watching it, and you just sit through it, see what you think. Other than that, it's good. Nice day, and right now I think it's time for a couple of poems. I was going to do a story, but I couldn't find one. I thought nothing sprung to mind, but I do have some poetry called Tales from the Woods by a chap called Felix Dennis. He was one of the guys tied up in the early 70s with the Oz trial. But anyway, here we go. The book, every £1 I think, or no, every time you buy a book, someone plants a tree. Pretty good thing. So here we go. Winter sunset. All day the snow had lain between the trees, the barren, hump-backed hills bereft of life. A sky bruised black, the sleet flung slant to freeze, the bones of man or beast, and then a knife. A white gold knife to blind the sullen gaze of old man winter luring in the west. 3 crimson wounds to set the clouds ablaze, and guide my weary feet to home and rest. This one is called Blackthorn Winter. A Blackthorn Winter is when there's still snow on the ground and the blackthorn is coming into bloom. Scraps of blackthorn blossom and fleck my coat. Another gust of hail and down they float. A fine spring this, the earth is as cold as stone. Northeasterlies that cut you to the bone. The primroses have withered one by one. The bluebells cower, praying for the sun. Rumbling thunder stalks the streaming hills. Sneaking frost has lain the daffodils. My boots are caked in mud. The doggies too. Above a clump of ash, the sun breaks through. A sudden glance of light on bud and bark. My heart leaps up, the soul song of a lark. Now I do hope you enjoyed those couple of poems. As I say, I'm going to try and add some story, something into it during the year. I've got plenty of projects coming up over the coming year. I want to focus on Aboriginal cooking. That's cooking without pot or pan. Maybe just something to boil the water up in. And just a lot more getting out. I want to spend a lot more time out overnight, but that will only happen when I've moved over here permanently. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year. In here I have a drop of instant sunshine known as mead, fermented honey. Salut! Well, Alfie, come on boy, say goodbye to the people. And here's Alfie the Wonderhound. Ain't he wonderful? And he wishes you a Merry Christmas as well.